Okay, take a look at this. It's a single screenshot from a chat server. But what if I told you it held a key to one of our oldest, most human questions? It might sound a little out there, but the most profound stories are so often hiding in plain sight. And yep, that includes our digital conversations. So here it is. This is our digital artifact, pulled right from a Discord server. Now, at first glance, it looks like any other casual chat. But when you really look closer, you start to see the pieces. You've got this incredible cosmic image, this lone silhouette, and then text that jumps from totally normal to deeply cryptic, all in a single breath. This right here, this is our puzzle. I want you to think of this explainer as a kind of digital archaeology expedition. We're going to excavate this one screenshot, layer by layer, and see what it tells us about our timeless search for meaning and how that search is changing in the digital age. So, let's start with the visuals, because they hit you right away. On one hand, you have the infinite, just awe-inspiring scale of the cosmos, and then set against it is this tiny, featureless human figure. The contrast is so jarring, and it's meant to be. It's designed to make you feel that classic sense of being so small in the face of this huge, maybe even indifferent universe. And then you've got the text, which gives you this total tonal whiplash. It goes from a super casual, hey, we're hanging in there, to this intense, all-caps proclamation. The serpent wraps around the pole of the universe. That sudden leap from the everyday to the mythic? It's abrupt, it's strange, and that's the thread we're going to pull on. Now, to really unpack this, we're going to need the right tools. So we're bringing in 4 brilliant thinkers to help us decode what's going on. Think of this as our analytical toolkit for this little excavation. We're going to grab Carl Jung for the symbols, Mircea Eliade for sacred spaces, Marshall McLuhan for the medium itself, and Jean Baudrillard to question the nature of this digital reality. First up, Carl Jung and his idea of the archetype. The simplest way to think about these is as universal symbols, like the hero or the shadow, that are kind of baked into all of us, into our shared human consciousness. They are the ancient building blocks of myths and stories, and we're definitely going to need this idea to make sense of that serpent. Next, we've got Mircea Eliade's concept of the axis mundi. Now, in myths all over the world, you find this idea of a world pole or a cosmic tree. It's a sacred center point that connects our world, the Earth, to the heavens above and the underworld below. It's like the ultimate bridge between the human and the divine. Okay, so with those 2 tools in our back pocket, let's look at that mysterious phrase again from the user A.B. Arnold Blair. The serpent wraps around the pole of the universe. See, this isn't just some random weird thing to say. No way. It's absolutely packed with archetypal meaning. This is our key. So when we use those ideas we just talked about, this whole phrase just lights up. The serpent? That's a classic archetype. It's Jung's shadow. It stands for chaos, rebirth, the great unknown. And the pole, that's our axis mundi. It represents order, connection, the sacred center. So what you're seeing isn't just a weird sentence. It's a whole myth in miniature, describing that timeless tug of war between chaos and order, happening right there in a Discord chat. And this brings us to the really big idea here. This Discord chat itself, it becomes a kind of digital axis mundi. It becomes a modern-day sacred space, a place where the totally mundane act of posting online suddenly smashes right into the cosmic. For just a moment, that chat window is a genuine bridge to something profound. And believe it or not, the layers just keep on building. I mean, look at the username itself, Arnold Blair. The source material points out that the name Arnold has roots that mean ruler, strong as an eagle, connecting it to the sky, the heavens. And Blair, that means plain or field, connecting it to the ground, the earth. So the name itself is another tiny axis mundi, bridging the celestial and the terrestrial. That's just an incredible detail. So what about that lonely figure? Well, it's not just some person. It's an avatar, a stand-in for all of us. Because it's stripped of any specific identity, it becomes this universal symbol for humanity itself, for our existential longing to reach out for something more, for connection, for meaning, in the face of all that cosmic vastness. It's you, it's me, reaching out from behind our screens. But of course, this brings up a huge question. We're talking about a really powerful emotional experience, but it's all happening inside a digital frame. So how real is it really? And that's where our last two thinkers, McLuhan and Baudrillard, are going to help us out. This is where Marshall McLuhan's famous idea, the medium is the message, is so important. The meaning here isn't just in the words. It's shaped by the entire Discord interface. Every single element, the user icons, the username, the timestamps freezing this one moment, even the vertical shape of the chat reinforcing that poll idea. It's all part of the message. It's all constantly reminding us that we're looking at a simulation of an experience, not the raw thing itself. And that leads us to Jean Baudrillard's pretty wild concept of hyperreality. This is the state where the simulation of a thing can actually become more real, more influential than the real thing itself. So the question becomes, could this perfectly framed digital moment, this encounter with the cosmos, actually feel more profound to someone than just, going outside and looking up at the night sky? For a lot of us, the answer might actually be yes. So when we put all these pieces together, what do we really have? We have this powerful reminder that we are still on that same ancient quest for meaning that humans have always been on. The fundamental questions, who are we, why are we here, they haven't changed. But our maps, our tools, our sacred spaces, they're looking a lot more like digital screens these days. So what are the big takeaways from tearing apart this one screenshot? Well, for one, that deep, mythic meaning can be hiding in the most casual digital messages. Two, that these ancient archetypes like the serpent, they're not just in old books, they are alive and well on the internet. We've also seen how the platforms we use every day actually shape how we think and feel. And finally, how our digital lives are constantly blurring the line between what's real and what's a very powerful simulation. We managed to find a sacred space, a digital axis mundi, hidden in this one Discord chat. So the final question really is for you. As you're scrolling through your own feeds today, maybe just stop for a second and ask yourself, where are the sacred spaces in my digital world? What fleeting moments might hold a much deeper meaning?